Hey guys, James here, day 75 of my 75 hard challenge. This is the end. This is the last vlog. I have put out a video every single day as part of this challenge, so I encourage you to have a look at the last 74. I've been unpacking the books that I've been reading and sort of sharing my thoughts. And this is it. This will be my last sort of book summary video. I'm going to make another video sort of talking about my experience doing the 75 hard challenge and also some tips and the takeaways that I got out of it. If you've never heard of 75 hard, there's a description of it down below. And yeah, we're done. And it's nuts to think that this is 75 days have gone just like that. It feels like yesterday that we just started. In terms of how my last day of the challenge went, it was the work side of things. Life happening was a bit of a grind today, and so is the whole week been. But like much of the challenge, being able to focus on something outside of sort of the day-to-day has really helped put into perspective the rest of it. So I had a great second workout, water's all done, targets all met, and it's nice to sort of see the end of the challenge, and I'm looking forward to continuing the good work, basically. In terms of how, so I've done my reading for the day. That's all ticked off, but I wanted to sort of take a look at the books that I've read over the past sort of 11 weeks and give you 3 that I got the most out of, or 3 that I thoroughly enjoyed and I think will change how you look at things. And I've picked these 3 based on sort of some solid takeaways in them, but also sort of how they changed the way you think, basically. And all up, I read 13 and a half books, almost 14 books over the entire challenge. A few of them were rereads, but again, wanted to share some solid ideas from the bunch. So book number 1 is actually 2 books, but it's covering the same topic. So Atomic Habits and 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is my first book in terms of books that I think will change your life. And these 2, one was a reread, one wasn't. And I think out of all the 14 books, at least these 2, I think I will come back to the most. The first one, and Atomic Habits being one that really helped me see how important habit creation is, and really breaking down how to create good habits in the sense of actually putting in the work to do that. And I think that's something that has eluded me and eluded a lot of people for a long time. And those 4 laws, in revision, is making it obvious, making it attractive, making it easy, and making it satisfying. And those 4 key principles you can apply to any good habit, but you can also invert them to sort of get rid of bad habits. This particular read really stuck out to me because he was so big on the underlying factors of behavior rather than sort of the habits themselves. It was big on systems and processes, and how it's ultimately these things that lead to our success and lead to being where you want to be as a person. And that was I actually read this after I read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. But the reason I included 7 Habits of Highly Effective People in this list is because it was written 30 or 40 years ago. And I think at a time when things are going fucking crazy in the world at the moment, everyone's perhaps panicking, everyone's getting taken over by watching too much news and eventually losing their shit. These 7 habits really help you get a grasp of what's in your control and what you can do about it, and then also how you can help others, and then is a nice culmination of everything in between. And there are some important habits in here, like being proactive with your behavior and focusing on what you can and what you can't control, beginning with the end in mind, thinking, seeking to be first seeking to first understand before you're understood, and also habits like sharpening the saw, which is basically working on yourself consistently so you can keep all your other habits in check. And reading about habits, doing a challenge where I think I will take, again, this is the second time I've done this challenge. I will take some of the things I've done as part of this challenge with me moving forward, and seeing how important it is to actually put in things consistently, and using, trying to do 5 tasks as part of 75 hard, 5 targets every single day. Reading books like this whilst you're trying to do that really pushed the notion of making things easy. For example, beginning with the end in mind in 7 Habits is big on, envisage the end result, where you want to be, who you want to be, and work backwards. So another game-changing read for mine. Book number 2 is Thinking in Bets by Annie Duke. Annie Duke is a former professional poker player. She's also has a doctorate in cognitive psychology. So this book was all about how to make better decisions, particularly when you don't have all the facts. And the book was, and the reason why it's on my sort of top 3 reads that you must get your eyes on is it highlights the importance of how and why we make decisions at a real neurological, biological level. And it's so important because it leads us, once you understand that, it leads us to make better decisions moving forward, and slowing down in our decision making, but also understanding why and how others make decisions, and being able to navigate their decision making process and your own around it. But then also understanding that we have inbuilt biases, cognitive biases that can inhibit decision making and cognitive processing that you wouldn't normally think about. And all of these, of course, are automatic because they're inherent and they're innate. So it's important to keep on top of things that we can't control and getting better at recognizing when they come. And probably what the biggest takeaway out of this book for me was embracing uncertainty as part of your decision making, and being okay with not being sure, and making the phrase "I'm not sure" not a dirty phrase anymore, because we are brought up to think about being right or wrong. And if we embrace the uncertainty and we embrace the being unsure, we're able to learn more. And it's only at this time, once we admit that we don't know everything, that we can actually learn a bit more. Another really important takeaway from the book for mine was the importance of seeking a diversity of thought and diversity of opinion. One of the examples of biases talked about in the book is confirmation bias. We have a thought or a belief or an attitude, and we seek out information that only seeks to reaffirm and strengthen that position. And this is a cognitive flaw that we have because it's easy and it feels nice, and we don't want to disrupt our own personal narrative. But Annie Duke argues that we already know why we're right. We actually need help finding out why we're wrong, and seeking other people around you to get a better handle on a belief that you may already have, or an external belief, and really unpacking why you hold that, but also why you should hold it so strongly or not. And book number 3 is a bit of a different twist. So those 3 books are very much about sort of thinking and how we look at thinking and making things sort of easy and working within our realm of cognition. This book, Relentless by Tim Grover, is sort of a nice counterbalance to this. And Tim Grover is the personal trainer of some of the greatest basketballs of all time: Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, and Dwayne Wade, just to name a few. But this book was all about mindset. It was all about work ethic, and it was about a no-holds-barred approach to achieving greatness. And to hear it from someone who was in the trenches with someone like Michael Jordan during those championship years really gives you a perspective on what it takes to be the absolute best. And the one clear lesson that came, at least from the start of the book, was embracing stressful situations. And in fact, you should relish the opportunity to be in stressful situations, because you can only learn from them. The only way to get better is by testing your mettle against the best, testing your mettle against uncomfortable situations, and leaning into that, so you can adapt, you can make those mistakes quickly, and you can learn from them. The second key takeaway from this book was all about paying your dues and sacrifice, and understanding that you must shift your perspective in the face of failure, because you need to push through it, and that's where growth and progress happens. But if you don't do the work, if you try to take shortcuts and skirt your responsibility, basically, you aren't going to get very far, or you're going to get suboptimal results, or you're going to get found out, or a combination of all three. So a real great take on the mentality of winning and the mentality of building, a bulletproof mind to tackle, life's biggest challenges. And the reason why I included it sort of in my top 3 reads is because it is a bit different from the norm. He fucking swears a lot, and he just doesn't hold back in some of the positions he takes, and I like that, and I implore people, and I try to do it myself, to take these different points of view of, Annie Duke spoke a lot about self-compassion and being not too hard on yourself, whereas Tim Gray was all about, you got to do the fucking work, and it's about punishment, and making yourself work harder than anyone else, which is a bit contradictory, but, that's the beauty of being able to read, and that's the beauty of being able to take best of everything from anyone that apply to yourself, and make it useful. That's it for today's video, and that is it for these 75 vlogs. If you followed along, if you come across this video some other time, please don't forget to check out the rest of the videos. I unpacked all 14 books that I read, and the stuff from these 3. I read some Stoic philosophy. There was a book about leadership and happiness. There's a bit of a mixed bag. But this is it. I encourage anyone who wants to stick around for some further videos to like or subscribe. I'm aiming to put out some more videos, hopefully in the future. But that's day 75 done and dusted, and that's me checking out.